I think I'm live now. Hello, boys and girls, cats and dogs. I'm very sorry for being a little bit late. I hope I have not inconvenienced you too much by being a little bit late. In any case, I am glad to see everybody who comes to see me because that's what I'm here to do is just visit with everybody. Today is my Wednesday free for all. Thursdays I usually don't post anything. Fridays I do varying formats. Sometimes it's a pre-recorded thing, sometimes it's a live stream if I haven't recorded anything yet. Saturdays I usually don't do anything. Sundays I have recorded poetry readings. Mondays I have men, my Monday Men, which is conversations with men in yarn. Tuesdays I have Topic Tuesdays, and then that brings us back to Wednesday, which is today, a Wednesday free for all. Hello, Granny B Crochet and More, and Jackie and Gina and Roberta and everybody who is here. I'm so glad to see you all. I started a minute or two late today. I hope you can find it in your hearts to forgive me. But, you know, life goes on. So, what's going on with people? The standard, icebreaker questions. What's on your hook? What's in your cup? What's for dinner this evening? All of that stuff. Also, where are you? Because I don't know where everybody is. Even people I am familiar with, I don't always remember where you are. So, what else is going on today? So, yeah, I always want to. I sometimes forget this, but I really should not. I always need to start out with a huge statement of thanks and gratitude to everybody who subscribes, everybody who is a YouTube member, a Patreon member, everybody who has ever shown me any kind of generosity, because people have done some beautiful things for me. I have to show every one of them how thankful and humble and grateful I am. I just hope that I can do justice to the gifts that they have given me. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Samantha. Hey, Gwenny. Hey, Lori. I'm so glad to see everybody here. I was just mentioning how grateful I am to everybody who has ever shown me any kind of love or generosity, whether it's in the form of being a YouTube or a Patreon member, whether it's in the form of a gift beyond that, and some people here have done that, and I am extremely grateful to everybody who has shown me love, because, I'm sort of a humble guy. I don't always believe that I deserve it, but you guys seem to believe that I do, so that's okay. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Joyce. Oh, Avery. Yes, Oh, Andrea, I really want to meet up with you and Avery soon. It's been far too long. Hey, Debbie Reynolds. Hey, Nana Michelle. You know, I love everybody. I really want to show my love for everybody. I can't really do that in a concrete way because I don't have concrete resources of that amount. Oh, Gina asks about the puppy. He's actually doing very well. He's gotten into a routine of going outside, sniffing, coming back inside without having done anything else, and then expecting a treat for the whole exercise. He gets a treat when he poops outside, but he doesn't do that every time he goes outside. And I don't think he's learned to discern exactly the difference about when he gets the treat and when he doesn't. Hey, Linda. Oh, that's right, Linda. I saw that you had bought it today. Oh, as Linda, I like that kind of feedback. I want to know what you think as an experienced knitter of my crochet brioche pattern. Hey, Granny D. Jackie, where do you live? I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina. Anyway, so what am I doing? I'm doing right now. I'm working on this. Is most people will recognize this as my. Where is the end? Okay. Most people will recognize this as my Alicia shawl. I'm doing this in a particular yarn that I got from the retreat a couple of weeks ago as a gift for a new friend from that retreat, so that he would use it as a scarf. I mean, it begins as a shawl because it starts small and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So, depending upon how large you make it, which is really totally up to you, and the pattern is on Ravelry, by the way. It can be as large as you want. And this is with a yarn that I got. Let me see. It's from a source called Knitting Notions. The website is knittingnotionsonline.com, and it's 100% merino wool. And I'm pretty crazy about the color too. Aren't you? Isn't it beautiful? This is a gift. This is going to be a Christmas gift. It's probably going to be early for Christmas, but I don't care. It's a gift. I have to make one of my hats to go along with it. I started one, but I don't think that's the one to stick with for this particular yarn and color and hat. So I'll probably have to start that over again. But in any case, I'm really totally crazy about the color. Isn't it beautiful? The yarn, it's 100% merino. It's beautiful stuff. So, and I got it at the retreat that I went to a couple of weeks ago. I got some really beautiful yarn at the Adirondack Yarn and Craft Fair. I also got some really good stuff that people, basically they had a give and take bag where you could bring stuff that you probably were not going to use and take stuff away that you might use. So that's where I got this particular yarn, because somebody else had left it there and didn't intend to use it. And I'm going, oh, hell yeah, I'll use it. I sure will. Oh, Lori says the Alicia shawl is her favorite. Actually, it's also my best-selling pattern, so I should do something to promote it somehow and get more sales. I don't know what to do. Anyway, I am just now posting the link if anybody wants to come up with me here. Oh, Nana Michelle. Nana Michelle, I want to thank you for subjecting yourself to the ads because that helps me out. I want everyone to know, if you sit through the entire video, if you sit through the entire ad, it helps me out. It really does. YouTube, crochet, patterns, writing, that's my job. That's what I do for a living. So I hope that you will agree that they're small gestures. I hope that you will not mind putting up with them to help me out a little bit. But honestly, the YouTube, the crochet, the patterns, the writing that I do, sometimes it's my job. I don't have a retirement income. I don't have a corporate position. This is my job. I'm very poor. Oh, thank you, Nana Michelle. That's a beautiful thing to say. So anyway, this scarf I want to finish today. And then I want to go back. I did a hat, but I don't think that hat that I started out with is one that's going to really work in the end. So I might do another hat pattern line. And I do have a bunch of hat patterns that are available for free on my blog, which is beardedyarndudes.blogspot.com, whatever blogger thingy is. But it's beardedyarndudes.blogsomething.com. I have a bunch of free hat patterns there. I make all of my hat patterns free in the hope that people will create a bunch of free hats to donate to people who need them. Because honestly, who among us does not know of others who need more than we do? I am poor, but I keep warm in winter. I am fed. You know, I'm okay. There are people in my city who cannot even say that they keep warm in winter, that they are fed. So if I can help them with hats, I'm gonna do it. And I want everybody in the world to think the same way. Oh, people are saying very nice things in the chat. Yes, yes, indeed, indeed. Honestly, Granny D is saying some beautiful things. Granny D is one of the most generous people I know. She, I've met her in person once, but she showered me with like a whole load of yarn that I was able to use immediately, right away, because I was still doing my Hat Not Hate challenge at that time. And I was able to put it to use right away. And it was beautiful. And Granny herself is quite beautiful. I think everybody needs to know that who doesn't. And if you don't know it already, then I don't want to know you. Yeah, everybody is greeting everybody else. I think that's perfectly beautiful. So I did post the link a few seconds ago. I'll do it again if anybody wants to join me up here. And also, Nightbot just gave you my Linktree page where you can see all of my patterns, my merch, which my merch is now on Teespring. It's no longer on Etsy. Etsy and I did not part as friends. I also have 3 different blogs, one of which is about crochet. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. Hey, Nancy, glad to see you. Okay, then. Oh, wow. I'm a little sleepy today, so that probably comes across in the way I present myself. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Linda. Also, I've started putting things on Pinterest with a link back to my Ravelry shop, hoping to at least get some traffic back to the Ravelry shop, if not some sales. It hasn't really led to anything yet, but you know, I'm just starting out doing that. I actually, you know, as I say, the patterns, the writing, the YouTube, the stuff I do, It's my job. And I need to find ways to offer value so that people will be okay with, giving me more money. I mean, that's an awful thing to say, to state outright, but I need to find a way to offer something that people will value for money. Hey, Ola Joe. Hey. Okay, Glennie, what did you say? Gwenny Square is a wonderful person. She is my local yarn buddy. Thumbs? Thumbs are good. I want to see thumbs. I can't see them in StreamYard, but if you tell me that thumbs are good, then I will believe you. Thumbs are good. Oh my gosh. I am imagining a get together with Gwenny Square and Granny D and me. Oh my gosh. It'll be well, it'll be a bunch of old people getting together. It'll be an oldies reunion. Um, Gwenny, Andrea, I'm still waiting on that invitation. Anytime that I actually cook over here, Andrea, you're welcome. But since you cook for more people than I do, I rather suspect your cooking is better than mine. Let's see, what else is going on? Okay, so we were talking about, what's on your hook, what's in your cup, what's going on locally, what are you working on, all of that sort of thing. I showed, oh, Nancy, you have such adorable grandsons. Nancy has such gorgeous grandchildren that all of us must be envious if we have hearts at all. And one of them actually is just a few months old. Oh my goodness. Nancy has another one due in April, but in New York. Yeah, Nancy is another one. I have met so many people in the crochet community, well, the yarn community as a whole, and found that we were in New York at the same time and did not know each other. I was in the New York City tri-state area from roughly 1991 until 2018. So that's about 27 years. But there's nobody in the current yarn community whom I met at that time. But there are a lot of people I have met since then and learned were there at the same time. Most recently, my interview for this past Monday with Nico, who is really a great guy. Please watch the interview. Um, he was in New York at the same time, and we knew the same places, but we didn't know each other at the time. And frankly, I left New York in about, I think it was 2018. I didn't get started with crochet again as a grown up until about 2016. So there was a lot of time that was lost there. Andrea, do not imagine that I will bring a camera with me. I want food. That's really all I want. Um, okay. So yeah, there are some, and it's funny. I've told this story before. I got my ex started with knitting. I bought him a beginner's knitting kit for Christmas one year because he had another hobby that was annoying me. But he got really, really involved with it and really, really stepped up his beginner skills immediately, and very soon was quite an expert. And one of the best things ever was when we would be going, we were living in the suburbs at the time. If we were taking like a train into the city, watching people watch him knit, because he was a man knitting, and it was so amusing watching people watch him knit. And he can do amazing things. His skill level in knitting is far beyond, I think, even my skill level with crochet right now. I think that he's, well, I still say he's amazing in very, very many ways. And I do wish we hadn't parted, but that's a separate thing. Yes, Nancy, I think you told me you lived in, what was it, Southport? I wouldn't mind living in Southport. It's a nice area. And actually, since I don't really go to the big yarn shops, except maybe once a week, if that often, I would be okay in a small city like Southport. Southport is actually quite nice. Maybe I'll move here when I hit the lottery, if that ever happens. Hey, Ruth Young. I'm glad to see you. It's your first time here. I hope that this is a good representation of what we do here. Wednesdays, it's always just any topic that comes up. Today I'm a little sleepy, so I might be a little loopy, but I hope that it's entertaining nonetheless. Carolina Shores, which is close to Calabash. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know the area, Nancy. Yeah. Excuse me. Oh. So, let's all be on our best behavior because Ruth is a first timer here. Let's pretend we're nice people. Actually, we are nice people, but let's make it evident. I am sleepy today, though. I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's another country I heard from. Did you hear the dog barking? Ruth, I think that's a beautiful part of Florida. Oh, Lori, tell us more about your orchard trip. It sounds wonderful. Yeah, I know that the yawn can be contagious. I don't mean to spread the insipid yawning virus around, but I don't know why I'm sleepy. I did. I don't think I slept well. Sometimes it's hard to tell actually whether I have slept well or not. Oh, excuse me, Ark. Quanny, Andrea, some people have expressed great amusement at the phrase monkey junction. So let's use it with care. I think it's fun. Hey Frenchie, hey Proverbs. Yeah, I think sometimes the front door is a glass door, so it's not. It's. We're not going to lose the air conditioning or the heat if we keep it open. Usually, so he can look out the window if he wants. So some days we will leave it open, and he will see something that causes him to bark, and I'm not quite sure what that is. A couple of days ago, he actually started barking precisely 60 seconds before my sister drove up and pulled in with her, I guess, grocery store purchases, whatever she got that day. But I know that they have senses that we don't. So I don't always know what's going on with him. I don't always know what's going on with me. No, let alone him. So who knows what's going on? Ooh, Gwenny, Andrea, I'll have to check that. Yes, please. Ola Joe, I like handsome sailors. Ah! Andrea says we'll both be right over. Yeah, Andrea, you'll have to find me off to get him. Where did I leave my phone? I might have left it in. Probably did. Okay. Oh, oh, Lori, that sounds like you could have a field day baking with those apples. I'm not a baker myself, but it sounds like you could have a whole lot of fun with all of those different apple varieties. Ola Joe is welcoming Andrea, says the more the merrier, but doesn't seem to welcome me. I don't know what's with that. Oh, I get a plate. I get a plate of Sailor, do I? I just put up the link again if anybody wants to join me. Oh, my goodness gracious. I wonder what's going on outside. Probably a neighbor walking his own dog. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, 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 woof. Ola Joe, I'd love it if you'd come up. Also, Frenchie, if you want to come up. Yeah, I mean, he's not very vocal usually, but sometimes there will be something outside that will stir up his fandom. Or sometimes I'll take him in the backyard. We have a small backyard that's fenced in. We live in like a they call it like a it's not really a townhouse community because we're only on one level, but it's like a I don't know what they call it. Anyway, it's all condominiums joined together. So we have a little bit of backyard that is our own. So we take him out there sometimes. And actually, surprisingly, I've seen him run around in that little area. It's a small area. Actually, I've seen him poop more in that area more than run around. But it is what it is. I'm not good at picking up the poop.
Not a good pooper scooper.
No, I'm not.
I'm not fond of that. I don't know of anybody that's fond of it, but I had to do that when my daughter that just got here, Lynn's is here. She just went out to get her work. She's got work to do on the computer. I said, "You mind if I go live?" I told my buddy, I was coming up. She said, no, I'm going to go get my work. But when they lived in New Orleans, we walked the dogs. She had greyhounds, and
Oh,
you have to
they're
go with our
so
little
beautiful. Greyhounds.
Tooper Scooper, and yes, she had
Yeah.
Chi and Silky.
Yeah.
She went
Joanne
down to the
has
bottom
just
of the
joined us. Welcome, Joanne. I think Lori just had to leave, for which we are very sorry because we love Lori.
I
But
know. It's rough.
um,
I'm so glad she got a good report from
hey Nancy,
her uterus goings on.
I don't like to hear about uteri,
Well, I'm just glad
but
ours is okay.
I'm sure that you guys don't like to hear about testiculi either. But
Don't bother me. I don't like to hear about anybody having trouble with any of that.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So I want to hear that everybody is healthy and happy,
Yep.
and that
Amen.
is my biggest goal, my biggest reward. Anyway, Nancy is very affectionate as a channel member. Yay! And let's
Hello,
see. Oh,
everybody. I can't see the chat when I'm up here, so just howdy.
yeah. Ola Joe is also a very affectionate channel member. Ola, we love Ola Joe. How could we not?
Amen. Just if you need
Um,
to move any of that cover, just throw it on the floor or whatever.
but also, let me see if I can scroll back and find other people who have been here all along. Oh, look. Oh, it's Michelle. Hey, Michelle.
Hi.
Yay. We
Hi.
love Michelle. Hey,
Here we go.
Linda also. Hello. And who else? I don't want to miss anybody. Please, if I do miss people, do not take offense because it's hard to do live streams.
Yes, it is.
Is this volume okay, Sis? Is it fine?
Okay. Yay, I'm so glad you're here, Michelle.
Well, thank you.
David, can you click that thing to put us back a little bit? Then I think we can.
Which,
I always
There we go.
forget to do that too.
is this what you mean?
There you go.
That's it.
Yay.
Okay.
I hate to be right up in my grill, but I have my clamp so close.
Oh, but you're so beautiful regardless.
Get out of town.
Oh, did somebody say Daniel's here?
Daniel came to my life for a little bit and missed.
Oh, I missed him if he's. Hey, Daniel! Hooray! I'm glad
Hi,
you're
Daniel.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, Granny had all the celebs in her life tonight.
Oh, really? I was there for a while, and then I had to take care of a few things, and then I was like a couple of minutes late in starting my own, and I don't know what was going on.
I went a few minutes late checking our little Halloween trivia. I said, "Oh, we got to get to David's, but I'm gonna check these real quick."
Well, I am always glad when you send people over to me because I love to have people in my at my own party, especially if they bring their own drinks. Hi, Ruth. Not sure I greeted you, Ruth, when you came in, but you're always welcome. Everybody's welcome every day.
Like this.
Sorry?
I was talking to my youngin', sorry.
Uh-oh.
I was asking her about traffic. She just got in from Florida.
Oh,
She's been
yeah,
driving
traffic.
all day long.
Driving from Florida to North Carolina.
Southwest, way down.
That's a bit of a schlep. I used to do that.
She. What time did you start? 6:30 this morning.
Oh my Lord!
She just got here.
Back in the day, I used to do that. I can't do that. That's why when I
She
went
got you
to
on
the
her side.
yeah, when I went to the retreat in the Northeast, I deliberately made it 2 days up and 2 days back because I knew that if I had tried to make it all in one day, I would wind up killing myself or possibly somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I can't stay awake to drive long distances.
yeah.
Hey, I'm still recovering from Kelly's live last night.
What happened there? Did I miss
It was an
something?
all-nighter, and I tried to stay up, but I only made it till 2 a.m.
I can't even do all-nighters anymore.
I'm going to try a late night Friday. I don't know how long it'll be. It won't be as long as Kelly's.
Who's
Might
having
get me
that
till
one? I
2.
forgot.
Rita says she once drove from Texas to North Carolina with 3 kids in the
Oh
car.
my goodness gracious. How?
Oh my God! That there are 2 parts of that expression
Rita, do
that
you have
bother
hair
me.
left on your head?
I mean, there's the Texas to North Carolina part, which should not be attempted in one day, and then there's the 3 kids part, which should
I
not
asked
be attempted in one lifetime.
That's why I asked if she had hair. She probably pulled it all out.
Yeah. If
My
she
daughter
didn't,
here
the
is
kids
usually out
did.
there traveling with her 2 daughters, but she didn't bring them this time because of school, and they've got sports stuff and all that.
Hey, Nancy McDonald.
And you're going to Virginia? Is that where you're? She
And
has something for work in Virginia
oh yeah,
after my
you
aunt's
know,
burial from that.
I drove my first day on my trip up north. I drove about 3 hours, stopped in Williamston, North Carolina, which is in the northeast part of the state, because I wanted to meet up with and have lunch with 3 of my very, very, very favorite cousins. And I did, and it was beautiful.
That's good.
But I wound up getting to my planned halfway point of, the Baltimore area rather late that evening. But I did not regret a bit of it. I mean, the place I stayed in Baltimore was swear word amazing. It was a B&B.
Bed and breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah, and also
I bet you wish you had more time just to stay there, huh?
well, that plus nothing can compare.
Puppies.
Nothing can compare to the time
Spent with
I
family.
spent with my beautiful family.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you were able to do that.
Yeah, me too.
It's just like with my aunt, you never know. I mean, she was always seemed very young. She was 67, but I was telling y'all she did a cartwheel on her 50th birthday.
I vaguely
just-
remember my 50th birthday,
She
but
was a mess. She was just the life of the party.
oh my God. But it started off the whole weekend in such a beautiful light. I mean, everything was wonderful. The place I stopped that night was a gorgeous B&B. When I got to the retreat center in New York, it wasn't it wasn't luxury accommodations, but I didn't care. I was among other men who do yarn, and it was beautiful. And then when I came back, I chose, because granted, you remember when I went to see you before, and I had chosen a place purely on price and absolutely hated it.
Mm-hmm.
So I swore I would never do that again. So on the way back from New York, I chose a place for the halfway point. It was actually a pretty nice hotel.
I mean, if
And
you're gonna have to pay for something anyway, it is. And
yeah,
I know what you mean. We all think or try to, to be
yeah,
pinching pennies, sort of.
yeah. It never pays off in the end. I should say it rarely pays off in the end. But you
Right.
know what? The hotel was nice. And even though there are stories to tell about the place where I wound up eating dinner that night, it was really, really nice. I loved staying there. And then I returned back home the next day in comfort. There was no urgency, there was no discomfort. I got home in a comfortable amount of time. Um, Overall, the whole trip was beautiful.
That's good.
And I cannot regret a bit of it. And I have another one coming up.
Yay.
I'm doing a men's retreat in Black Mountain, which is just outside of Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yay.
So I can get there in a day.
When is that one, Dave?
That's in November. I think it's the second weekend, but I'm not quite sure. It's in November.
It'll be, you know it.
And I'm planning to meet some people I know online already, including there's at least one person I have interviewed for my Monday Men's series, whom I will meet in person at this retreat.
Oh, how exciting.
It's funny. People tease me about my Monday Men interviews. They say I always choose attractive men and I flirt with them. I don't know why they would say that. Except for the fact that it's true.
Nothing wrong with pretty men.
I know. Actually, I have one who's going public next Monday, and I think he is. I think I have the right one in mind. Okay, Nico went public this week, correct?
Yep.
Then next week is going to be Joe, who is a coordinator for all of the men's knitting retreats nationwide.
Wow.
So, and he is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person on top of all of that.
Cool.
And a very talented knitter. So I need more people. Send me more people to interview. Everybody.
I have to be on the lookout.
Yeah, me too.
Actually, honestly, regarding the Monday Men, I've come to the conclusion that the Monday Men interviews, conversations, is a better word for it really than interviews. But the Monday Men that I do and the live streams that I do, those are really my long suit. and I should do more and more and more of those. So I'm also looking for other people to do. I'm always looking for men to feature on Mondays, but also I'm going to start doing interviews on Fridays as well.
Sweet.
So please email me or message me with suggestions for women or couples or anything else you think I should interview.
David, how about that? I'll mention this one, and I think yarn as a second language. I forget the guy's name, but it's really, really nice. I think he'd be good.
I think you've mentioned that. If you haven't, someone else has. I
It's
will
him
have to.
and a lady that do it together. It's not his wife, but
I'll have to look for that. Yes.
yarn as a second language. Yeah.
I'll have to check it out too.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many people who are so interesting to talk to. I mean, and not just knitters and crocheters, but people who do all sorts of things in the crafty world. Okay, what am I missing in the chat right now?
I don't know. I'm missing it too.
Me too. Always when I come up, I'm on my phone, so I can't see.
I'm on my laptop. I just need to look up every now and then, but
yeah.
Okay, Frenchie is talking about Preston and Nikki. I don't know who that is.
That might be the yarn as a second language people.
Oh, okay.
I think it is.
Could be, yeah. You know, there's a couple I want to get for Monday Men, who are in Montreal, who they do yarn, they do patterns, they do dyeing. But I haven't gotten their attention yet. But I mean, there are lots and lots of them. I find a lot of the men that I talk to on Instagram, because Instagram is a really, really great source, and people post the most amazing photos of their works.
I just got into mom's. Yeah. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing. I gotta do a little work right now.
Okay, whom do we hear right now?
My daughter's talking to her.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's not a problem, but
Let me turn it.
no, don't worry about it.
Damn.
No.
it's all good.
Well, actually, I sort of hate that phrase, because usually when people say it's all good, in the moment, nothing is actually good.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow. I'm kind of white.
But anyway, okay.
But I'll let you know. I don't know if I'm staying here.
Okay, Ola Joe is leaving us. Bye-bye, Ola Joe. Much love.
Bye, Ola Joe.
Okay, Andrea, I think I have to go into the other room to find the text that you sent me, because I don't think I have my phone right here beside me.
What room?
What?
Sit up.
What room?
I said, uh-oh.
Oh, hey, Donine. How long have you been here? Did you just come in? Holly Wong. shall we? Let's see what's going on here. So we've just been talking about stuff. Really, we don't have a topic today because that's not what we do on Wednesdays. We're just
It's a free for all.
it's a Wednesday free for all. So yeah, Andrea, I do want to see you soon.
Is that Granny?
Yeah, Gwenny Square. She's my local yarn buddy.
Hey,
That's so
Granny.
cool.
Granny Ed.
And Linda has to attend to her pup Bella.
Hmm.
Oh, I hope your pup Bella feels better soon. I want to see pics of your pup when you're able. Anyway, what else is going on? So what's for dinner, everybody? I haven't quite decided. It's about 7 o'clock here. But I haven't quite decided.
I don't know. Since Lynn's is here, we may go get something at the local diner.
Yeah, we have a bunch of leftovers, but also my sister did go to the supermarket today and got a bunch of stuff, so I don't know what she brought home. And there's some stuff that I could actually make up into a real thing, a real dish if I wanted to.
Do you and your sister always do supper together?
No. We pretty much were roommates, basically.
Yeah.
Every now and then she will remind me that it's her house and that anything I want to do is on her property. But otherwise, we're pretty much roommates. Oh, Frenchie wants bacon cheeseburgers and fries. I'm there for that.
Sounds good.
I love bacon cheeseburgers. Actually, every now and then we usually buy like ground beef or chicken breasts in volume, and then we'll split it up to put it in the freezer for future use. So I'll get like a package of ground beef out, and it will be 3, maybe 4 burgers worth. And it seems that I have a talent with burgers because all I do is I just sprinkle the Montreal steak seasoning on them, and then I cook them. But I don't cook them too long because I don't want them to be like as hard as a brick.
I used to make something called sizzle burgers. It was a thing back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether the recipe was on the Worcestershire bottle or what, but somewhere we got it. But it was just melt butter in your skillet and put a little of the Worcestershire in and put your burgers in there and then flip them over. And oh my gosh, they are so good and juicy.
Actually, I think I remember those commercials from back in the day.
That
yeah.
flavor is so good.
Oh, Gwenny Square is always threatening me with shopping trips that she never comes through with. I want to go. Roseanne says that she and her husband Dan remember the like a chicken with Alfredo and garlic bread. Yum. Yeah.
Mama used to make, there was a time when what was it? Chicken a la king was a popular thing.
Oh dear Lord! I always thought that looked like it had already been eaten.
It was good.
But
she made pepper steak. Oh, it was good.
pepper
over
steak
rice.
was good. But you know what is amazing? Is you have some onion, garlic, and some shrimp, and butter and lemon. Cook it all together, and you have some either angelini or some other really fine type of pasta, and you cook it all together. It doesn't take long, but it comes together beautifully. And nowadays they would call that shrimp scampi, which
I started to say that.
yeah, and anyone who knows says that will say that has the same meaning as hen number or SAT test, because scampi is shrimp, but
Oh.
it's so delicious when you do it right, and it doesn't.
Shrimp.
It really doesn't take but a few minutes with the shrimp. And if you've got the lemon and butter and oil and everything going on and garlic already, oh my God, I want some now. I want it now. Oh. But unfortunately, I live with someone who isn't very fond of shellfish.
That's terrible. Now that I'm getting my Social Security check, I can go out and get, groceries and stuff. But my brother used to, I would pretty much depend on him for food, and he doesn't do Chinese or Mexican, and I love
Oh my
both.
gosh, those are two of my favorites.
I know.
Oh
Right?
my gosh! Do you know at the retreat they had this one night? It was, I don't even know what to call it. It was a Chinese style chicken chunk over rice thingy. The sauce was so delicious. The chicken chunks were a little bit unwieldy, but that's okay. But the rice over the sauce, amazing. And honestly, this retreat center, their pockets are not that deep. They do not have a lot of resources to draw on. So I have to give them, well, if I were probably 20, 25 years younger, I would say props. But I have to give them credit for the food that they did serve. Because most of it was quite delicious. Even with probably rather shallow pockets.
How many were in attendance around?
I think we were, I don't remember the exact number, but it was in the 20s. They had planned for more, but some people had personal circumstances, life happens, that required them to cancel. There were some people who had planned to come from Canada and were not able to travel across the border.
Right.
So I think we were in the 20s, maybe 25. I don't know for sure. All I know is I got a private room when I didn't pay for a private room. And I was okay with that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Especially since the bathroom door didn't close properly.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Gwenny agrees the Chinese and Mexican are just wonderful. Gwenny, We must hang out more. Gwenny, hit me up. But yeah, honestly, a place like that, a retreat center, you really, honestly, it has to take a tremendous amount of talent and skill to plan um, um, meals for that kind of an event, because you don't know how many people are going to have, dietary restrictions. You hope that they will tell you ahead of time, but they don't always.
Yeah.
And then you have to try to plan things that are going to appeal to a wide audience. You want to please the most people. It's got to be a really hard job. And all of the people there, they also had other jobs doing other stuff on the premises. I mean, honestly, I love this particular retreat center. It's called Easton Mountain. It's almost all of its programs are for gay men, but I won't say that 100% of them are. But I love this retreat. I have been there in the past for other retreats with much, much, much larger numbers than we had at this recent one. And they're just wonderful. They really are. I cannot think of a bad thing to say about them, and if I did, I wouldn't. So they are, just think about what that kind of a retreat center has to deal with when it specifically intends to deal with a limited population. Doesn't matter what the limitation is, but you're gonna get people who have dietary things. You're gonna get people who have allergies. You're gonna get people who just don't do this or don't do that. And the food planning for that kind of a gathering, it has to be immense. I can't even think of all the work that it takes.
Yeah. I encounter that a lot because I don't eat meat. So, like we had to drive into work last week, and there was at least 2 of the days if I wouldn't have packed food for myself, I wouldn't have been able to eat.
How long have you been doing that, Michelle?
About 4 years.
What made you start?
I was sick all the time. I didn't feel good. And once I quit eating beef and chicken and pork and all that, I still eat seafood. I'll still eat that. So I have like fish or something once a week. But once I quit eating all that, I feel 10 times better. And I think for me, it's because I'm allergic to so many antibiotics. So whatever they were feeding the animals, it was coming through for me. So it wasn't, oh, I'm not eating meat because it's mean, or, it wasn't any of that. It was just,
right.
I didn't feel good. So.
Also, you can source meats, particularly the mammals that we like to eat, and we do like to eat mammals. There's no getting around it. You can source them from different sorts of places. You can either do the industrial sources, which is what you get from the supermarket, or you can do more boutique places that they're going to cost you more, but I would bet you dollars to donuts it's also going to taste better from the more I don't even know that boutique is the right sort of word for that, but these smaller sources where they are raised more organically and not raised in the way that industrial animals are raised. So, I mean, there are all sorts of different things you can do. I mean, I'm not questioning your choices, Michelle, because it sounds like it's working for you.
And even even when I did eat meat, I didn't eat it that often, so it's no loss. It's no adjustment.
I myself would like to investigate some of these more boutique or niche sources and find out how much better tasting they will be, because I really think they will be. I mean, there are things, there are videos you can see on YouTube of, well, any viewpoint you want to pursue, you can find a backup on YouTube. You can find somebody else who has the same viewpoint. But at the same time, with this kind of narrow boutique niche market meat, I think that you can find information online that might really reward you. So if you choose to eat meat, and I would never ever get into the yes or no question about that, but if you choose to eat meat, I think that eating the best quality that you can possibly get would be a good choice.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my goodness, Donine. Oh, I don't know where that comment came from, but I think it's great. Donine says that her son came out. Well, yesterday was National Coming Out Day. And Donine says that her son came out 2 years ago, and she is immensely proud of him.
That's good. Not only that he was able to come out, but that he was able to feel comfortable enough to tell his mom.
Exactly. Puppies. Yeah.
Puppies are cute.
If I started to tell you the story, it would have ended in tears. So I need puppies.
My cat didn't even flinch when your dog was barking. I was surprised.
Where is your puppy, David?
I don't know. Probably sitting by the back door. I don't know. I probably have to go and figure out what I can throw together for my own dinner.
Yeah, I need to go too and chat with my child that just came in, and I need to get up and walk around before my parts freeze up.
Yep, me too.
I've enjoyed chatting with you, David, and Nana.
I'm so glad that you have both been here.
Of course.
Because you are both very dear to me. What's the time now? It's about 7:23, something like that. Yeah. So I'm glad that you have both been here.
Well, thank you
And
for
I'm
having
glad that everybody else has been with us for as long as they have. Of course, I always want people to stick with us for the whole time. But as always, I always say like, comment, subscribe, share. Probably do it in a different order. Anyway, all the standard YouTube crap, and keep coming back. And thank you so much, everybody. Bye bye now.